By the time Emily was 12 years old, it was common to see her writing down her tennis goals on colored paper with an artistic flair. She was very competitive and determined to win a major junior tournament. The family woke up one Saturday morning and found a windy and nasty day. The air was cool and very unpleasant. There was no official practice that day, but Dad and daughter were planning on a good day of drills at the tennis courts. Dad announced he'd load up the car and get the gear ready to drive to the courts. Emily's response to this was, "Dad, I don't really feel like practicing today." He said, "I understand. I'll go get the car ready." She looked surprised and said again, "It's nasty out there. I really don't feel like practicing." To which he again replied, "I know, you're right. I'll go get the car ready." By then, Emily was really frustrated. "Dad, don't you get it? I don't feel like it." Finally, it was time to make the point. "Emily, it's perfectly fine that you don't feel like practicing. But what does that have to do with it? Let's do it anyway." Emily's dad was trying to teach a lesson as gently as possible. He wouldn't force her to practice, but he wanted to teach a lesson about self-discipline. He went on to say, "It's theoretically possible for you to not feel like it all the way to a national title, if you're willing to keep practicing. Sometimes feeling like it has nothing to do with it." Then he added, "Come on, I promised to make the practice fun. Let's go." And so Emily dragged along, "Okay, I'm coming." There will be many days when our kids don't feel like doing the work to reach their own goals. They will prefer to take an easier path because children just naturally don't understand this concept of self-discipline. It must be learned. The tricky part for us as parents is that we're tempted to teach them by forcing them or shaming them into doing it anyway, forgetting that by definition that's not self-discipline, that's just discipline. To be called self-discipline, the choice to do something must be made by self. So how can we help our athletes grasp athletic self-discipline when playing sports? It really isn't mandatory in the first place, not like going to school. Most parents wonder how much to push their kids when it comes to sports. I'm frequently asked, should we make him go to practice if he doesn't want to? Well, let's make a distinction between honoring commitments versus doing hard work. Signing up for a sport should be a family decision that's made for one season at a time so that everyone knows the beginning and the end. Once the commitment is made, then the answer is, yes, we're going to practice today, unless of course you're sick, because you made a commitment to a team and to a coach. On the other hand, working hard is something a little different because how hard someone works is a personal choice connected to their level of motivation. Within each sport, there are things that are kind of hard or unpleasant to do, particular skills, demanding drills, or just dealing with lousy weather. Doing the hard things is often accompanied with not feeling like it. True champions are those who are willing to do what others won't do so they can have what others won't have. Author Jim Rohn said it this way: "We must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons." Self-discipline has huge rewards for our young athletes, feelings of accomplishment and improved performance. But it's a lesson learned slowly because it's uncomfortable at times. We can insist that our children honor their commitments, but how hard they work, whether it's at school or at play, is a matter of choice. It's the choice of self-discipline, and we can't make it for them. The lesson will probably come more from watching us than from listening to us. By the way, Emily and her dad went to the courts that day and had a great session together. Dad made it fun, like he said he would, and in the end, Emily said, "I'm so glad we came and did this." And then, on a cold and windy day 1 year later, it was Emily who said, "Come on, Dad, let's go to the courts. I need to practice today." Dad just smiled and loaded up the car. Your positive parent tip of the week is ready for you to download now. Enjoy your assignment and remember to make it fun.